Hey, 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 good morning. Good Monday morning. It is the Monday Morning Money Show. And like the intro says, money's very important. You need to get some. And you know, I'm always going to bring you an expert in money. So today I have a very special guest. It's Coach David Huffman. So David, this is going to be, normally we try to keep it under an hour, and I know you have a lot of information. So let's just go ahead and get you to intro exactly who you are, where you're from, and what you do for money.
Hey, I'm David Huffman, and I help residential real estate agents, team leaders, and brokers be able to create more of an inbound marketing strategy with an irresistible offer that basically no buyer or seller can refuse to help them scale their business. And most of my clients that follow our process can add an additional $100,000 to almost $240,000 in the first 12 months into their bottom line as an agent.
Wow. So that, you know what, man, you said, let me see if I can unpack because what you just said right there, because you gave us so much information that we really need to talk about in that 30-second, I'm going to call it an elevator pitch, because you very clearly detailed exactly how you can help your potential client, which is an agent, right?
Right.
Okay. So you said you're going to help them create an irresistible offer.
Correct.
That's going to allow them to add $250,000 to their bottom line. Is that what you said?
That's correct. And actually, we had one so far this year that's trending $460,000, an increase in the first 12 months, but it's not even 12 months yet. So that's going to be my new record here at the end of the year. Super proud of them.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. So how many states do you work in?
So by now, I mean, there's probably a few I still haven't had a student in, but for the most part, I mean, we're all over the U.S. And including Hawaii. I've had some clients down there as well.
Okay, so your clients, your students are primarily real estate agents. Is that right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay, so now you work with individual agents or agents that have a lot of agents under them. What's your target audience?
Yeah, primary for us is somebody that's been in the business for at least 5 years or more. A lot of our clients have been in the business from 15 to 25 years. They've really been working by referral only. So they have realized that they're really worth more. They can help more people, but they're not really sure how to convert more of those online leads into closings. And so they usually will be by themselves, maybe have an assistant, or maybe one or two buyer's agents.
I got you. We had a little bit of a technical glitch right there, but I think we got it smoothed out. So do you have any dealers? Or I'm sorry, do you have any agents here in the Georgia area?
I do, in Atlanta and some of the outskirts of Atlanta as well.
So let's break it down a little bit. I'm an agent. Okay. I'm an agent. I've been in the area a long time. And you're going to call, or how do you let's start by that. How do you get your referrals, or how do you actually find new clients and customers?
Yeah. So similar to you, one by referral. Obviously this past year, we've been basically referral only from our clients. We've kind of heightened the bar, let's say, to be able to add more business or add more agents to our business. But generally the most people come through a Facebook ad. Then they watch a evergreen webinar, and they either love what they hear, or they hate what they hear, or they don't want to hear it, or whatever happens. And then at the end, we give them an offer to be able to book a call. And then we really more interview them to see if they're a good fit for us. And if we really feel passionately that we can help them, because every agent, wants to make more money, but honestly, very few are willing to do anything different than what they're doing in order to be able to make more money. And so we're very confident in our process, but we're really trying to, really pick those ones that we know that really can, that really will do the work and that we can really help. And that's the reason why I think our success numbers are so high as well. So,
yeah, well, man, I tell you why your success numbers are so high. And we have a little thing on the show that we call the Johari window, and there's 4 panes in the Johari window. Have you heard us talk about this before?
I haven't. I know I haven't.
So the Johari window, imagine 4 panes there. The first pane is simple. That's the things that you know about you, that I know about you, or that everyone else knows about you. Then there's the second pane where there's things that you know about yourself that you don't let anyone else know. That's the secrets you have. And the third box is pretty interesting. The third pane, that's the things that I know about you or that someone else knows about you that maybe you don't know yet. Okay. And then the fourth box is the most interesting. That's the things, that's the mysterious pain, the things that you don't know about yourself and no one else does yet either. But the third box is the one I want to tell you about. And that's, I'm going to tell you why your numbers are so successful. And it's, you probably know this, but I'm going to just articulate it for you again, man. In the first 5 minutes here, you've hit on some things that we do here at our office, which is make big offers, make irresistible offers. We solve problems. You found a problem. You found a dinosaur of an industry, because even though there's a lot of, probably the most millionaires are made in real estate. You know that better than me. Even though there's tons of money made there, the real estate industry is so slow to change. But that's what gives you and your clients, your agents, such an opportunity to add. You said $500,000. I sold you short when I said $250,000 of net profit to their bottom line. To add $500,000, I hope that's your average very soon, because you are implementing things and strategies that you and I know work, and they work in any market. Now, I have a lot of real estate friends. As a matter of fact, one of my very good friends who helped me start this business, he was one of the first 3 people to help me bring my product to market. He just bought a Century 21 agency, I guess, or
brokerage,
brokerage.
franchise.
And he is so excited because he's seen what we've done in the automotive industry, which is also can be a dinosaur. And that's why it gave us so much, success so quickly, because the 1 out of 10 dealers who jumped on board with the art of text message selling, which is to make a big offer, be fast, and continue providing information, and keep solving problems. He saw that success, and he's anxious. He's asking me a lot of questions about how to use Facebook and how much money to spend on ads. I'm like, look, man, I would have to kind of throw darts at it. I would spend a lot, and I would get on there, and I would make sure that I was spending more than everyone else. So, I mean, I know that's a winning strategy, but I would love for you to get on a call with him, because he wants to shake it up. He wants to move the needle. So many of these real estate agents, and they're my friends, they may get mad when I say this, they're such dinosaurs. They want to do it the way that they did it 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, even 40 years ago. And that's just not the way to do it anymore. So,
yep.
Can you got any comments on that?
Yeah, let me, if we can, I'm known for being like really real. So let's unpack that one layer deeper. And for real estate, I think where most agents go wrong, and even in most salespeople, they don't really understand what they're really selling. So in this case, agents feel like they're selling houses. And so they need to go out there and be kind of like the gatekeeper to let people in the house. They need to sell themselves, right? They need to be known, liked, and trusted, and so they think they have to go out there and shake more hands, kiss more babies. They're not a politician, but but that's what, if we're just being real, that's what everybody is selling. So you got 1.2 million realtors across the nation that are basically just trying to sell themselves. And I hate to say it, that ourselves, even as cool as I am, or you as an agent, or whoever is, it's not enough. It doesn't separate you from the men from the boys, the women from the girls. It doesn't make you that different. And so by really creating an offer that no buyer or seller can refuse, and really digging into what you can do different to get your clients a better result, and package that into a product, almost the point, and bring that to the marketplace. Now you have a product that you can sell that nobody else necessarily, really has. And most agents that are out there, they will continue to basically just always be trying to set appointments. And they're not really giving them a really good reason that's important to the buyers and sellers as to why they would want to work with me as an agent. They're more focused on, how do I sell to this person? How do I sell myself to this person? And so we've really kind of gotten the agents at every stage a better, kind of like a call to action or a better, value prop at every phase. And that's really where I think the success kind of comes from, because where everybody else is out there trying to sell agents more stuff, more CRMs, more technology, better technology, more AI and everything else. We're more focused on the people, the clients, the buyers and sellers, and what the buyers and sellers really want from us and from their target audience. And so that way we can really develop a product that's fitting for them.
Man, I've got Smith, my producer, grabbing me. I sat down. I was rushed. I was solving some problems today, and I sat down without a pen and paper. So I got to start taking some notes. You're saying so many things that I want to talk about, and then you keep going with more specialized information in my mind drifts. So let's see if I can remember everything I wanted to. Let's start with process. Okay. You mentioned that the agent, they're trying to sell themselves. Basically, they're putting they're building their process based on what they want. And, that's the opportunity probably in all sales departments, is to understand that we need to be building our process based on what our customers want. That means just giving them everything with no concessions, or that we're not going to get something in return. As a matter of fact, I found that when I build processes and I implement processes for car dealers that are based upon what the customer wants, that their sales goes up, their profitability goes up. And obviously, from what you're saying, the same thing holds true in the real estate. Is that accurate?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's, the simple fact is, I'll give you a quick example. Real estate agent gets a phone call from somebody. They want to go and see a house. First thing the agent wants to know is if they're pre-approved. Right? If they're not pre-approved, the agent then is trying to send them to the lender to get pre-approved before the agent wastes their time to go and show the property. So our process is a little different. That fact is, okay, so on that call, who were you selling really as an agent? You weren't selling yourself, you were selling the lender. Agent isn't making money off the lender. So if somebody's looking to, buy or sell or start the process now, then let's get face to face so we really can build that rapport, even open the door for them or two, and that's fine. Allows us to really have more rapport built with them, better chance they'll use our lender, right? And also I got a chance to sell myself before I was trying to sell them somebody else that I don't have any, dealings with.
Yeah, and I want to maybe challenge. It's not really a challenge, but I'm going to challenge the status quo when I say this. So many sales trainers and coaches talk about building rapport. I'm not one. And as a matter of fact, in my book, I say one of the mistakes is trying to build rapport. I think when you're trying to when you're offering solutions and you're giving them, you're opening those doors. Okay, I haven't asked about your credit. I haven't asked you what your budget is. I'm opening doors and showing you things. I'm basing my actions on your desires. What I'm building is trust, and I'm actually the rapport is a byproduct or a side product of the actually trying to let you know that my process is to solve your problem. So
that's great.
Yeah. So I love it, man. If someone will please tag Hank Youngblood in the comments, I'm going to make sure he goes back and watches this from the beginning. And David Bonador is commenting. As a matter of fact, let me look at some of the comments. If you will, Smith, to break up the monotony, how about reading some of those comments? We only have a couple.
So far, Joey Arvinson says, good morning, Billy, and good morning, David.
Good morning, Joey. Thanks for joining the show. Actually, thank you for coming in the office this morning. Joey's sitting behind me over here. He's holding up cue cards in Paul's office. Paul's not excited about that, but anyway.
Jeremy also says, good morning.
Hey, I see Jeremy too.
Same from, I'm guessing that's Alicia. Probably shouldn't try to pronounce the last one.
I think she's a big fan of Billy. She wants way more than to comment on here, but that's okay.
She shows up a lot. I appreciate it. David Varnasdor says, I like real estate.
So let me stop right there. I appreciate your comment, David. Thank you for actually taking the time to view this and to comment. David is the anti-status quo. So David is not a real estate agent. He's not a real estate broker, but he owns a lot of real estate, and I mean a lot. So we're in Coffee County, a small county in South Georgia, and David has bought many, many pieces of property, commercial, residential. He's huge on rebuilding them, remarketing them, and either selling them or renting them out. Do you have products? Is there anything that you can do to help someone who's a real estate investor, or are you simply for the agents?
Simply for the agents now. I mean, when I was in production mode for 17 years, obviously I could have helped him a lot then, but now it's all about, for me, for the agent side of things.
Gotcha.
I've got agents that could help him.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. We're going to get, as a matter of fact, that's why I want someone to tag Hank Youngblood in the comments, because Hank's going to be able to help a lot of clients. So let me ask you about this. When it comes to real estate, this seems kind of cliche. Every agent that I've heard, that I've talked to about this, and every broker, everybody's real keen and big on getting the listing. And I totally understand that. It's very important. You control the listing, you control the market. Everybody seems to say that, but only one person can be the main source, or there can only be one first place lister. So do you, in that irresistible offer, I'll be surprised if part of your irresistible offer isn't somehow about getting more listings than the other agents. Is that fair to say, or do you even focus on that?
Well, we create an irresistible offer for buyers and for sellers. Technically, we create an irresistible offer for their ideal buyer and seller, because depending on their market, we kind of go through really like, what do they do? Where are they at? What affiliations? Are they part of golf courses? I mean, we really kind of drill down into that and then kind of work our marketing around it. But you said something very interesting, that everybody's going after sellers, and that's 100% true. I personally like buyers, because with the seller side, with the buyer side, I can control when I can execute a contract with that buyer, as long as I can find inventory that matches their criteria. So the better I get at finding inventory, MLS is a big place to go, but the better we are at creating inventory as agents, not needing to rely upon the warehouse of homes listed by other agents in MLS and Zillow, then the faster that I can turn that motivated client into an executed contract. And I can control that. I personally control that. I can't control, generally speaking, when a listing is going to sell as well. Not to mention that, once the time I take a listing, still takes a couple of days to get the listing available. I mean, it's a process that's there. But most agents really just don't know how to control buyers. They allow buyers to take them on this craziness. They allow buyers to call them at 4 o'clock today and say, I want to go see property tonight. And that's the reason that agents generally hate. So when you change that process up a little bit, which we do in COD very well, it helps have that be a little bit more of a pleasable experience with buyers, instead of just being, run ragged like most agents think buyers do.
Okay. You said a lot too. I'm going to see if I can unpack this. Now, you said COD. Is that what did you say?
Closing on demand, COD.
Closing on demand?
Closings on demand is the name of the company. Yeah.
Okay. Closings on demand. Is that your virtual training tool?
That's my company. That's what we use we run our clients through that program.
Understand. Okay. So you actually have a program to train people on this process. So I want to be clear, because I know what you meant, but I want to make sure that we're not misleading our viewers, because, early on we said we have to build our process based on what the buyer wants or what our customer wants, not what we want. But then right here you said, hey, we're not going to let these customers run us ragged. So there is a way we can do both. And I know this is, you can't train us on your process, and you don't give your process away. I want to allow you to comment on that. The fact that we're not speaking out of both sides of our mouth here.
Yeah, no, good point.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So I'll give a little bit as far as how and what I mean. Usually with buyers, agent emails over a link from their MLS with their pretty face on it, says, hey, here's all the properties that match your criteria. The agent sits back, twiddles their thumbs, waits for the buyer to finally eventually email them back some listings. Agent sitting there thinking, hey, are you going to, should I call them now? Should I not? Am I going to be too pushy? It's been 2 days though. I haven't gotten anything back. So the agents are playing these mind games in themselves. Then the client finally says, yeah, here's the properties. I'd like to go see them today or tomorrow. Usually it's pretty quick. So the process that we change is a little bit different. And that is that, so when we send this MLS link over to the client, we want to go ahead and set an appointment right then and there with that client to determine, let's say like right now, let's say, hey, it's Saturday at 10 o'clock, a great time for you and I to go and see these properties. Now we can inflict a little bit of an accountability by saying, hey, is there a way you can have this list back to me by Friday morning so I can have a few, Friday to be able to get with all the sellers and get it all set up for you, et cetera. So now I'm inflicting a little accountability, and I can manage that person based upon the expectations that I set as an agent. And oh, by the way, the Saturday at 10 o'clock that I set up to go and see these properties isn't a time that I'm available. It's good for me. This is a good time for me. And I can always speed it up and I can always slow it down, but ultimately I'm proactively setting these stages out instead of reactively receiving them from the buyer.
Yes, I love it. And I want to point out that you're not asking them to jump through hoops just for your benefit. The things that you're asking them to do is actually going to benefit them tremendously. I think we're having a little glitch again there on the internet. Are we okay, Smith?
I think we're good now.
Okay. Yeah. Did you catch that part, David? I said that. Okay. All right. Let's see. Now tell me about, you said appointments. I know that all agents they may or may not understand that they are working on appointments, but you're selling appointments. You are using appointment-based selling. Is that true? Do you see any pushback on that, or how does that fit into the marketplace in general, like the status quo real estate company versus the way how you handle appointment setting?
Yeah, you have to have appointments still in today's market as an agent to be able to execute a contract, which is the way that it is. Now, the appointments may be a little different with COVID. We may be doing some more virtual open houses. People may be willing a little bit more now to make an offer on a property without actually, touching it. So they're able to do that via video. But everything that I'm about as far as production goes is about getting our agents to set more appointments with a buyer or seller that has a specific motivation, and the time frame is here and now.
Okay, gotcha. Now, one thing you mentioned early on that we haven't talked about yet is Facebook, and I think you're probably, now everybody likes to think that they're using Facebook for business, and they post some pictures, or they build their brokerage a business page, and they put some pages on there, and maybe they're even taking pictures with their sold with their buyers and things like that. Nothing wrong with that. I think you should do that. But I have talked to so many brokers and agents that really, I've told them they're not doing it right. But now, let me form this in a question. Are most agents using Facebook properly?
No. Very small percentage. So that's organic versus paid.
Yes.
Very clear distinguishing factors that, pretty much every business, needs to really understand what the difference of that really is.
So I want to take this opportunity right here, Smith, to make sure that we get this in the clip out there as a 5-star. So what we do, David, I'll let you know, is we take our guests and we go through the whole hour, however long we spend on here. And, I try to go, he goes back and tries to find some things that are very important. And then we use those to draw awareness to you and to us, and especially when it's very helpful. So right here, Smith, here we go. Guys, today I have David Huffman on here with me. Coach David Huffman, this guy, and I've talked to a lot of real estate agents. This is the smartest, most savvy guy I've spoken with when it comes to how to use Facebook properly, and just the fact that he understands the differences between organic versus paid. And I'm going to dive in deeper to see if I can gain even more specialized knowledge from him. And I know that you're going to want more. Now, David, how can people get a hold of you if they want to learn more about your paid services?
Easiest way is to go to codzoom.com. Again, codzoom.com, and watch my free training where I take you from the very beginning of where to get the best leads to how to execute the contract and everything in between.
Wow. There's another, this guy's loaded with elevator pitches. I mean, that was another great one right there. Okay. So let's talk about paid versus organic. The people that you see that get it right. Now, maybe, is there anybody out there that was getting it right, or did you have to go in and start coaching these people from the beginning and kind of create this whole new process where there wasn't one before?
So I've taken out of, there's a lot of different ways to make money in residential real estate sales, right? I mean, there's a lot of different ways to get leads, different types of leads. So what I've come up with inside of our Closings on Demand program is what is the easiest to implement, the fastest to scale, and the cheapest to maintain. So out of everything that I know, I've boiled it down to a start to finish process that pretty much solves and checks all the boxes that we as agents and humans necessarily want.
Yeah. So, man, I want you to back up there and tell us again, because I was taking notes. You mentioned the fastest to scale. Tell me those priorities again, exactly how you did that. But here's why I want you to do that. This is not just about real estate. What he's laying out for you will work in any business, including a vendor business. If you serve car dealers, if you serve real estate agents. So break that down for us again, exactly how your qualifications there.
So out of all the options that are available for you to run a business, what is the easiest to implement, the fastest to scale, and the cheapest to maintain ongoingly? Mm-hmm. And that's what I've created Closings on Demand around in the real estate realm.
So it's easy, it's fast, and it's cost effective. So in any business, you don't want to tackle the biggest mountain first. Now, we are all problem solvers, and there's going to be times when you have to do a whole lot of things that you don't really feel like doing. But I like the number 2 right there the best, the fastest to scale. I have so many people that think that, or that they don't understand the cash flow quadrants, the other 4-pane window, right, where you're either working for your money or your money's working for you, or either other people are working for you. So that's all about scale. And if you're not scaling your business, you're not growing your business. You don't have a real business, in my opinion. You have a job. And sure, David, I know you could go into any market. You could implement the things that you do, and you could sell a lot of homes. You could get a lot of buyers. You could make a lot of money. But being able to scale this and get this out to thousands of agents, that is so important. If you're running a business, you definitely want to have something that's scalable. And so let me ask you this. Will this process work in any market?
100%. The only thing, people buy and sell property for a reason, and then we just focus in on that reason to attract them, to our clients. So now there's different types of markets. There's a buyer's market, seller's market. So there's little tweaks, but at the same time, though, the process that we teach, that doesn't change. I always tell people, you can learn this process, one process that's proven itself over the years. And the only difference between somebody that's selling 10 homes a year and our clients that are selling 100 homes a year is that they're doing exactly the same process. They've just gotten better at it. So I say, here's one process to really learn and dive into, and then it's just repeat, repeat, repeat. No reason to always keep thinking you have to change things. So we repeat ourselves a lot. We say the same things a lot. And that's how I know when my clients are really getting it.
Absolutely, man. And that's so important. Paul, he's my number 2 guy up here. He's my operations manager, and it's a little bit of a joke, but when he's very surprised when we have a meeting and I say something different that I haven't said before, So, and I do that on purpose though, because it works. We created something that works in any market, in any economy, and we brought it to market and we duplicate it over and over and over and over again. And we have adapted, we adjusted, we built this facility so where we can scale and even in an even larger way. But if we had to start over tomorrow, we would do the same things over and over and over, and that's so important. You don't have to reinvent the wheel, but you do have to get out of your comfort zone. I'm sure you run into a lot of people that are stuck in their comfort zone. But you just mentioned some agents or agencies or brokerages that sell 10 a year and some that sell 100. Could those be in the same market? Could you have that much disparity between a brokerage in the same market that's selling 10 homes versus one that's selling 100?
100%. Yeah. I mean, and the only thing difference is their process. I mean, that's the only thing difference. They're not like Superman and Superwoman. I mean, they just understand the process and they've really learned how to be repetitious when they learn that something works.
So have you taken a 10 home per year broker to a 100 home per year broker?
100%.
All right. So obviously they had to start spending more money on Facebook ads. Is that fair?
Yep. Or
So,
leads, raised hand to the marketplace. It's someplace. Yes.
okay. So you're actually, I love this. I love it. So you're actually, this is a small part of what we do, actually creating, well, we create the leads, but we do it in such a, just a massive, over 40 million people have seen one of my Facebook ads. So I do it, we saturate, so you're looking for people that say, hey, I'm in the market to either buy or sell a home
in the near future.
Great. So what is that guy, how much money did he have to spend, that guy or gal, that broker, what did they have to increase their spending from and get it to 10x there? You'd say you have 10x some of these results. How much money are they spending?
Yeah. So, I mean, truthfully, if we're doing Facebook ads, Facebook generally for us still is the cheapest per lead because there's no hard cost in having to have like a website. So there's websites that are out there that produce great leads, but you still have a $750 to $1,500 a month hard cost just for the website plus the ad spend. Facebook, you can just write copy and then put it out there and 100% of your money is going towards leads. So, I always say our average is about $5 per lead for a good phone number. Our averaging conversion in 90 days is somewhere between 6 to 8% of those leads that have a motivation to buy or sell. Not all do, of course. So it's not like we're only getting 6 to 8% of the ones that actually buy or sell. So there's still another variable kind of in play there. For the most part, our top producers that are doing, anywhere from 8 to 13 on average transactions per year, keep in mind, this is just 1 or 2 people. That they're doing somewhere around 200 to 250 leads a month. So if they're doing, some are doing the website stuff. So it's $3,000 a month. Some are doing it via Facebook, which is only about 1,500.
Okay. So let me ask you this, because and I'm all about scale, man. So let's say that just take a rural South Georgia town like I'm in. And you have to explain that if I'm off on the laws, you have to explain this to me. But I truly believe that I could take a brokerage with my ability and my process. And the first thing I would do is actually go through your course and make sure that I was doing it the proven way. Why would I listen? Why would I want to try to do things my way if someone is out there doing this at scale, taking people and 10xing their sales? So I would go through your course. I would learn everything I could. I would hopefully there's a way that I hope that your business model, you actually continue to work with these people on an ongoing basis. Or is it like, okay. All right. So I would definitely have you in my corner. I would want to 10x it. And like you got those guys who are selling 100 a month now. Can you take on the entire state, or do you start getting into areas where you're competing against other people? I guess if you're an independent broker, I mean, can you scale this thing to 1,000 with enough horsepower, enough manpower? Can you scale this thing? Can you 10x it again?
So COD right now is really based upon taking care of our client's income first. So this is about how to take them from where they are to where they want to go, have a clear direction of path of what to implement. So that way we can start checking those boxes off, and then focus on the production numbers. So it's really about them at first. It's about getting their bank account padded, getting them the income they really want in life. We're about to launch after the first of the year more of a brokerage level where I help the brokers then create an irresistible offer to attract agents to their brokerage, but then have their team set up in a certain way that's profitable to the broker owner. Teach them how to do ads to attract agents, teach them how to have what the onboarding process is for that agent, because most brokerages just bring people in, then every Tuesday they have a training. It's not really what agents want. They've learned that that doesn't work. And so we really break down each one of those all the way down to independent contractors agreements, what their responsibilities are, how to hold them accountable for it once a month, all those kind of things to really help the agents be able to get their income to where they want it to be, because that's why they would want to go and work for a brokerage. And that's what they hope when they go to work for a brokerage.
Yeah, for sure, man. I'm loving this. You got me excited. So I love great products. I love things that I know are just, it's genius, but it's simple. But here's why it's genius. You'll have to tell me just exactly when you first said, hey, I think this will work this way and will be beneficial compared to just jumping in and doing it, because so many people, everybody, there's no shortage of great ideas. Yeah. And I have talked to agents. I've talked to brokers, and I've told them they need to be doing not this exact, because I don't know, I'm not an expert like you, but I know enough that they need to be you and I talked about it before I even heard your entire pitch. We talked about things that they needed to be doing and using a call center and setting appointments and things like that. But you actually did it. And that's why it's genius, because so many people are not willing to take that step. Was this a sure thing when you got started? Tell me how you tell me the process of how you got where you were, where you are today. And then what are your goals? Where are you going?
Yeah. So 17 years in production myself, until I retired from production. And for the last 3 years, I've been doing the coaching and training or implementation side of things. Personally sold over 1,200 homes myself in my career, and over 6,000 homes via my team. So that's my numbers. And I go by number of units, because when you talk volume or income, I mean, units really are the determination, in my opinion, of an agent, how many homes a year. Because if you're selling 12 homes or you're selling, 100 homes, that's a big difference, no matter even if the income's the same.
Right.
But for me, 2014, I started coaching part-time for another major coaching company. And what they wanted me to coach was what I had worked my entire career of not doing. And so I didn't want to be disrespectful to them, but so I just coached what I knew. Like, I wasn't trained as a coach. Like, you don't have, I'm just all of a sudden being put in front of agents, and I'm supposed to turn their production around. So I just started coaching what I know, which was all up in my head at the time. And that was actually the $240,000 client. 2015 was his first 12 months with me. He'd been an agent for a long time, very knowledgeable agent. And he had been making somewhere around $250,000 a year. And at the end of that first 12 months, he made $577,000, which is gross commission for that year. And so that's when I knew that I had something, because the same things that I struggled with, or what I jokingly say, the mind games that I had to play with myself to stay on task and, without working every day and all day, worked for him. And I was like, man, it's gonna work for some other people. So over the course of those first couple of years, I had some really good stories, really good success stories out of the, 30 agents or so that I was personally coaching. And then it's kind of just scaled from that point.
So you had 17 years of production, and now you've got 5 years of coaching. Is that right?
Yeah, 19 years total. So there's some overlap. For about
Gotcha. So, man, you doubled it. So your first client, you doubled his income, and you did it by doing what works. So it's pretty amazing to me. Now, when you were in production, were you working for other people the entire time, or were you a broker?
So I was the youngest RE/MAX owner in the state of Texas at the time in 2003. I was a partner. I was not in charge of the day-to-day operations of the brokerage. I ran my small little team for the bulk of that. But, the money is not in the brokerage. And I've been on record numerous times saying, stay away from the brokerage, focus on the production, focus on growing a team, because that's really where, the money is.
Okay. Explain that to me now. Let's say I'm an agent, or I want to be an agent, and let's say I'm very ambitious and I have big goals. And listen, if you're an agent or you want to be an agent, I only recommend people that I 100% believe in. I'm telling you that if you're an ambitious agent and you wanted to take this information and dominate your market, that you could do it. What I loved hearing you say that I have to find out more about is you said focus on team building. So tell me how an agent can build a team and what that looks like. If I want to come in as an agent, stay away from the brokerage. Please break that down for me, explain why, and then how I would build a team as an agent.
So the first step is really to focus on yourself first. The agent needs to focus on their own income. Agent needs to be profitable all on their own, right? And learn what works for them, what doesn't work for them. So for me, that's step one, not to just come in and grow a team. So step one is become profitable yourself. Step two then is, we have, depending on the production level, if you're doing less than 40 transactions a year, you don't need an assistant or anybody else if you have a good proven process. 40 to around 70 units, you'll need at least one assistant. 70 units plus, you'll need 2 assistants. That's the most profitable way to go about it. And we break down that to where they're not working more hours. They're just more streamlined on the income producing activities day to day. Okay. From that point is where, between 1 to maybe 2 assistants is where they may start to add on a buyer's agent. Okay. That's where they start to grow the team. What most agents do when they start growing a team, though, is they don't increase the leads. So now you have a buyer's agent coming in, taking half your commission. Agent then thinks, oh, well, this person's out there selling them for me. And all of a sudden that agent's income goes way down first year. So there's a step-by-step process that I really, it's a slower way, but it's a better way to not have that decrease in income that most people, obviously don't realize they're doing. So every agent, we have a $5,000 budget per year in marketing. And until that full agent, the team agent, is willing to donate $5,000 to that new agent and put their money in the line for that agent's success, then we don't do it. We have, so that way that agent has enough leads coming in to support themselves.
Yeah, come on in, man. This is our studio is not ready yet, but we're waiting on our desk. So this is our new studio. I got IT people. We're still getting a lot of stuff done in here. Man, so you have all this in your program, COD, where from a brand new agent to, okay, I've been here 2 years now. I'm ready to get one assistant. You work with these people on a daily or monthly basis to make sure they're at the right place.
Yeah. And I mean, for us, really, it's not as much of a brand new agent is our ideal client, because everybody's a little different. I only take on 2 brand new agents a month. That's it. Yeah. We have a limit because they do kind of take up more of our time. Happy to do it. But this program is, really for more of those people that are like, hey, out of all the options, what's easiest, fastest, and cheapest? And that's really where our margin is that we can help them implement. I'll say one more thing really quick.
Yeah.
So my name, people call me Coach David Huffman because that's what most people know me as, but we're really not a coaching company. We are an implementation company. So whereas a coach will sit there and help you, mentor you on different ways to do different things, I feel that agents are very confused out of all those things. What is the easiest, fastest, and cheapest, right? So we teach one method, and that's the foundation of sorts that we want to implement into their business first. And then we can always add more things to it. But we teach one process, and we teach that very well. And I don't want to necessarily just get off the opinion that I just want to hire, they should look at me as a coach to talk to every week. I don't need to talk to you every week. I'll walk you step by step through what works. It's just the fact that you got to learn it.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm confident that if I was wanting to sell real estate, that I think I could convince you that even though I've never been an agent, to like work with me, just give me access to that process, give me access to the information, and that I could hit the ground running as a brand new agent.
That's right.
and dominate the market. So
that's right.
I'm all about process implementation. Let's take a look at the comments real quick. Smith, there's a couple on there. Maybe they're still watching. I wanted to maybe pick up where we left off.
Got a hello from Paris, Texas. Kim Ledbetter.
You know where Paris, Texas is?
Yeah.
Cool. That's a great guy, Kim Ledbetter. If you're not friends with him, send that guy a friend request or follow him. He's a super guy, very positive guy. I love having him on the show.
Sarah Stalker says, "Hi, Billy and David. Enjoying the words of wisdom."
Absolutely.
Hey, Sarah.
David Barnador asks, "Where is David Huffman from?"
So I'm originally from Little Rock, Arkansas. Most of my production in real estate was in Dallas, Texas, and we also frequent Fort Lauderdale, Florida, quite often.
Cool. Very cool. So he's a Texas guy, Arkansas guy. He's one of us, David. He's a good guy.
From the South.
Catherine's got the cha-ching.
Hey, Catherine wants to make some money in real estate. Hey, I don't think she's is Catherine an agent? I can't remember. If she is or not. If she's not, she's still worth taking on if she reaches out to you. Most of the people on that follow this show, man, they're very well versed in the 10X mentality, and the give and process, is the most important thing. So if anybody reaches out that says they know me, call me to make sure they really know me first, and I'll vouch for them.
Referral based.
Yeah. What else we got?
Biagi Patricia?
Yeah, let's don't try to say her name.
I apologize. She says, "Very good." Can't remember exactly where we're at, but thank you.
That's fine. Go to the last one.
Kim Ledbetter's. Why will it not show it? It won't let me. Oh, boy.
What did Kim say?
She said, "Thanks for the comments."
Yeah, absolutely, Kim. Thank you for watching. And by the way, if you guys want some more expert information and you want more of David Huffman, I know I do, and I really want to see some of my broker friends or agent friends get a hold of him and get on the program. I know I'm excited about what this is going to do for people that are watching the show. I'm confident, David, you're going to have people reach out to you, and that you're going to be able to work with more people in Georgia and maybe even Texas and those other places people are watching at that are really going to be impacted by this. As a matter of fact, there's a couple people that I'm going to make sure they reach out and call you. So where, again, can they get this information if they want to find out more about you? What's the best way to get in touch with David Huffman to get more information about the closings on demand?
So we have an entire onboarding process that we take, our ideal client through. It all starts at codzoom.com. Again, codzoom.com. And there I'll talk to you and walk you through our closings on demand process, from literally where to get the best leads all the way to the point of how do we execute the contract and everything in between.
Okay. Now, have you written a book? Did you tell me you were in the middle of writing a book? Or
I am. Yeah.
When will that be available?
I'm about 40% through with it now. So hopefully right at the first of the year is my goal, is that will be out in publication.
Yeah, man. We definitely want to know more about that. When it's ready, reach out to me. We'll get you back on here. Now you have the whiteboard behind you. I know you're probably not mic'd up to show us much, but do you have a lesson that you can show us on the whiteboard right there?
No, this is just us. Had a new client this morning, but this is just us breaking down their conversion process.
Yeah.
And so we literally, kind of like our flow of sorts. Every agent wants a system. A lot of the systems, though, are in your head.
Yeah. I love that you have a system, that you do workflow, that you put it all in black and white right there. It's so important. So many people like to wing it. In the car business, so many people wing it. They think if you can talk well, that's a qualification for selling. That has nothing to do with it. It's about process. It's about solving problems. And you have by far the best process I've even heard of when it comes to real estate. So many people, like I say, they like to do it old school. And here's what there's the status quo. The status quo is very powerful, and it's hard to wake up the status quo. But you don't have to wake all of them up. They'll know you're there when you get that 1 out of 10 that says, you know what, I like this information, I'm going to do it. They start doing it your way, and then they start growing. And the status quo, they're mad about it because you are the unicorn in the balloon factory. And I love it, man.
Yeah.
I greatly appreciate you coming on the show. Is there anything else you'd like to tell us before we wrap this thing up? Because they're staring at me. They want me to move my desk where they can install some more wires.
No, that's it, man. I mean, I really appreciate having me on here and stuff and being candid about it and allowing me to be a little really real with real estate side of it. And man, obviously you're doing some moving metal, which I love that tagline. So if you could ever come up with a moving metal tagline for me of what would make sense, that would be awesome. I could use some help on that. Moving lumber, I don't know what I would do.
I'll get.
But really quick, I'll just say, aviation, man. I'm a pilot, fly for fun. You fly for a lot of, work and stuff. My last question for you is how has that impacted your business so far?
Man, I tell you what, it was a big decision, if we were going to invest. And I talked to my accountant, and one of my mentors is Grant Cardone, and he says if it is tax deductible, you should probably do it. If it's not tax deductible, you definitely shouldn't do it. Since it was tax deductible, I made the investment. I bought the twin engine Baron. I can go 220 miles per hour anywhere in the country, and it's made a tremendous impact. I started, visiting dealers. I used to have to drive. I'd have to drive for 8 hours to see someone in Kentucky. Now I can fly to Kentucky. I can see 10 dealers. I can have sales meetings with their team. I can pitch them. I can give them my elevator pitch, and I can be back home that afternoon. So it's made a tremendous impact. Anybody who is questioning whether they should buy a plane or not, if it's for business purposes, you should definitely do it.
For sure. Thanks again for having me on, man.
Hey, man, thank you so much for coming. There you have it, guys. And so Hank just made a comment there. Very interested. I'll be contacting you, Mr. Huffman. So when Hank Youngblood reaches out, David, if you'll give him some time, give him some information, the guy's sharp. He's building some teams. He is the broker. So hopefully you can help the brokers as well. So he and his wife, they make an awesome team. Century 21, as a matter of fact, right here in Douglas, Georgia, Hank Youngblood. Glad we could hook you two guys up, and I look forward to talking to you guys again. That's a wrap for today's show, guys. I don't ever bring anybody on here that I don't believe in wholeheartedly. And I can tell you, after speaking with this man for almost an hour, I'm sold on his product. I'll pay for his product. I haven't even asked him the price, but if one of my agents, if I ever have any agents, wants it, I'll pony up the money. This is great information that can absolutely double your income. And this is a money show. Money is important. Stop listening to people who tell you money is not important. Money is important. You got to have it. Try living without it. Mm-hmm. Next Monday, we'll see you again with another money show. Tomorrow is the Digi Ninja Sales Academy with Billy W. Merritt. See you tomorrow, guys.